job of finishing it. I like the way the curve cuts through. Well, it almost does. It's actually meeting it right in the foot. But it's got a really nice shape. Not much I can say about it other than that. The mark's still on. This is one of the ones I don't like, where it's coming down and the curve dies somewhere down here. It looks heavy on the table. If you just brought that curve in and rounded it a little bit, it would look light and fluffy and float. And this wood has moved. It used to have a nice flowing curve inside, but you can see where the wood has shifted and curled on it. And needs a little bit more practice with finishing. Ought to get with Frank and his guys about finishing. It's got a little rough stuff on the outside, and it looks like probably sprayed it from up above and the finish pooled in the bottom, but there's not much on the sides. It's a little thick there on the bottom. A little help with the finishing, that would be a great piece.
Lighter coats, basically?
Yeah, lighter coats. And probably sanding it or hitting it with a Scotch-Brite pad in between coats because it's got a little dust on it. That happens to all my stuff in my shop. I'll spray it. It doesn't matter if I haven't turned in days. It'll all have this little dust on it. So I'll take one of those gray Scotch-Brite pads and buff it out. Obviously, this person's been hanging around Frank. It's a nice effect. Did a good job on the coloring. Didn't slop it on or anything. I like the way it's undercut. It'd be nice if you went a little bit deeper on it. Oh, that's why. It's one of those multi-axis ones. The one thing I don't like about the multi-axis is it makes you have to have a thick bottom. And I find that kind of detractive. But did a good job on the multi-axis. Sometimes I think it gets a little too busy in here. And I like it when people have to take away some of the parts that are left. This one looks real good. Did a good job. Finish is great. On the outside curve, it's real nice. Yeah. The nice of this blank is a little bit bigger in diameter, but that's okay. It's that multi-axis thing.
Get the rubber wood.
And I like the way this curves up like that. I think this lip might be a hair too big, but that's just me. This is all subjective. I could be totally wrong. It's just my feel for stuff. The inside's got a nice flowing curve. I wish more beginners would do a nice flowing bowl like this instead of straight down, straight across. Because straight down, straight across are darn near impossible. And he brought that curve in nicely. He's got a nice foot, a little detail on the bottom. Good job of finishing, nice piece. Quick round, quick. Yeah, I think this foot's way too deep, first off. Probably because they thought they had to be way in there deep to expand into it. But I like the way the sides come in. And it seems to me they decided right about here that they needed to cut in to bring it across, and they went straight across almost. Yeah, they got a flat right there and a flat right there. And a nice piece if you can get that curve flowing together. And I've shifted it to another side because I noticed it's figured and it might have shifted on it. This side's a little bit more curvy, but it's still like pretty flat. So that's just doing that last motion in one sweep. This is a nice piece. Normally I don't like yellow pine. I spent way too many years working with it and I hate this stuff. But
Everybody says it's pain, I haven't tried.
well, it's got all that resin in it, but I spent 20 years working with this stuff. And I like that bottom. I started doing bottoms like that myself. Just slightly recessed. It's a little risky when you make the bottom concave because if you went too deep here, and you went too deep here, then they meet and then you got a nice dust collector. And this is a really nice piece. And even though the spring and summer growth, normally you feel ridges there, like if this was ash, you feel ridges. I don't feel them. Yeah, that's a nice hollow form. It has a, don't drop it. It has a nice flowing curve. And the bottom's the right size for the piece. I made one of these. My bottom was a little too small, but I had some help. So we got the small one supposed to be. And I really like that mount. That's real nice.
Would you mind stepping just to the left of the camera? He's working the way down.
Got it, no problem.
It's a nice box. I like that curve in there. And I like the little OG on the top. Those are real hard to get them to look right. Good OG. The inside's done well. It's a little punky, I can see. Oh, there's even a little detail on the bottom. Must have gone in there with a point tool or something, or maybe the tailstock center. A little detail makes it look good. And I like this finish. It's kind of, it's kind of fuzzy looking. It's just oil finish, but it's a nice bit of texture. I guess they had to work at this one. See how the grain's not wanting to line up. I think it's two separate pieces of wood maybe. Some thread in the box?
No.
It was open just fine.
It opened 5 minutes ago. It must be you.
I can't.
I tightened it too much.
Yeah. That's a nice little box.
It was wet wood, so.
And it still has a pith in it, so it's cracking. Hopefully that won't continue, but that's the risk of leaving the pith in. This is something after my own heart. Nice sculptural bowl.
This is as thin as I can make it. It's supposed to be more than some
Yeah.
more for a restaurant.
That's what I thought when I first picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job.
I haven't done the pointer yet, but, you know.
He's got the curve coming around, got a nice little undercut
Can you
curve there.
imagine that? Is that
A little texture on the red, looks good.
Just needs a little piercing.
Yeah, a little piercing, yeah. Well, this is a nice box with a little medallion in it.
Frank's finish?
I love the wormwood on the bottom. It looks like Chinese writing. And a little detailing underneath the lid, looks great. And once again, a nice curve on there, and little details in there that kind of divide where the lid is.
A little bit louder, please.
And, yeah, well, I'm losing my voice talking for
Would you buy
What
it?
was the price tag on that?
$146. Good thing it's persimmon. So, yeah. Well, anyway, if somebody has a problem with it, I'll gladly give some more. This is a real nice bowl, real nice shape. I like that little detail. Nice even wall thickness. Nice smooth inside. A little detail on the foot, looks great. I love mushrooms, especially when they have little features like that. The cracks just add to it. And it's real hard to undercut those sometimes. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. Better not drop this one. This looks fragile. Yeah, that's a nice piece. I like that too. I like how it dishes down. You have a bowl within bowl. Nice detail right there.
What kind of wood is that?
It looks
Is that
like
Chris?
Redwood burl. Redwood burl.
yeah, it's a redwood burl.
Is it stabilized or plain? Stabilized or just?
It's stabilized. It's got penetrating oil.
And this is one of those hard to do bowls where they went straight down, straight across the bottom. Some folks like those. To me, I really don't like that real quick change in direction. I'd rather have a nice, smooth inside. You know, it's like the expansion chucked into it, which limited the shape they could get on it. Sometimes you have to be careful and not let your tools limit the shapes you get. And this is another one of them with a straight in, straight across. Very hard to do. And once again, the side shape here was limited because of the way it was held. It would be nice if this side came in a little bit more to me. Once again, that's my opinion, doesn't mean it's right. I like this little lip right here, that's nice. It's a real nice curve there. Nice bottom.